Hey everybody, meteorologist Mike Griffith here for East Coast Weather Association, also for US Weather Pro. And we're going to take a look at the tropics here, and then we're going to bring it a little bit closer back home and take a look what's happening here as far as the forecast goes. Right now, across the Atlantic Ocean, not a whole lot going on. The National Hurricane Center dropped all their probabilities of any type of tropical cyclone formation in the next 5 days. There is nothing out there to be expected according to the National Hurricane Center. They actually dropped everything. Right here is the remnants of Tropical Depression number 4. It was Invest 94L or 4L at one point. And this is encountering a whole bunch of dry air wrapping into this thing. And it is really just kind of not doing a whole lot here. It's actually shredding apart. And here's the remnants of a tropical wave that was associated with this Tropical Depression 4. And it looks like a lot of this convection right here is dying out on the water vapor imagery, which is what we're looking at right here, right now. And a lot of the convection is going back down into the clouds, which means that there's a lot of sinking air over top. And that means that it's not going to be favorable for any type of development. What probably will happen is that this area of disturbed weather will just kind of slowly go into Florida over here this way, and we'll bring some rain and some showers and thunderstorms to the southern part of Florida. Maybe a little bit of a stiff breeze, if anything. Nothing really too much to be concerned about. Other areas of interest here, there's a tropical wave just east of the Lesser Antilles. And here is the other tropical system here that a lot of us were going to be concerned about. But this is really just a bunch of tropical waves coming across the Atlantic. And the other one that hasn't left Africa yet is the one that was going to make news and scare a lot of people out there. And yes, I'm just as guilty as anybody. There's a tropical wave right there moving this way. Here's another tropical wave right here. And these are kind of moving from west to east, as tropical waves normally do. So not a whole lot of activity out there, nothing really getting organized. There's a lot of dry air in here, and there's a lot of dry air up in here. This is what you can see this on the water vapor imagery, the dry air. So it's going to be moving into environments that are not favorable for development. And that is how tropical meteorology works. And it looks like we have some tropical activity here just east or just north of Panama and also Costa Rica, and this could get forming here and kind of maybe drift up this way and eventually enter the Gulf, which would bring a lot of rain up here to the Gulf Coast in the next week or two. Other than that, it looks like just be feeding in the convection across the peninsula here into the Pacific. So they're having a lot of activity there. And that's really what we're seeing as far as this activity out here in the Atlantic. Right here is actually Tropical Depression, or was Tropical Depression 4, or it was nothing really to be concerned about. And it's going to just kind of drift westward into Florida in the coming days. Now, what I wanted to show you was the GFS model. Let me adjust everything here if I can. Let's see. This is, of course, Screencast-O-Matic, and they don't make the best software. So if you see this and you can understand I'm having a little bit of issues right now with this, so don't buy this software because it is junk. Also, don't go to Dunkin' Donuts because they will screw up your order every time. The only thing they don't screw up is black coffee, and even if they did have black coffee ordered, they can screw that up as well. So anyway, here is the GFS, and the tropical system that was going to be coming across the Atlantic here in the next week or so has actually disappeared. There was supposed to be some kind of tropical system coming across the Atlantic, but it disappeared. Here's the trough up here on the GFS, a very deep trough, a little bit of a Bermuda high here out in the ocean, and some warm weather here across the east as we go into this Wednesday. And then that tropical system was starting to get going across the south here, but it actually doesn't even show up anymore because the models actually go back and forth in between their solutions. And so you can never trust one model, and you can never get all excited 2 weeks out or even a week out. This goes for the same thing. This is the same thing in the wintertime also. So here's a trough right here in the east, which is would have been the timing for the whatever tropical system there was in here, but now it doesn't even exist anymore, probably because of all the dry air, and the model actually lost it, and it's not there anymore. So this is going to be the story as we go into the 17th is what we're looking at right now, next Monday. No tropical system here on the model at all, and it always changes. So this model had the storm going like this up the East Coast. It had a Florida strike. It had a South Carolina strike. And it even had like a southern tip of Florida in the Texas strike. And that is all gone away now. We don't see that anywhere on here. So this model has been really shared by a bunch of pages, including myself. I got called out by weatherrisk.com, David Tolleris, rightly so, because I was only sharing one model, and that was changing every single model run. So that was bad forecasting right there by me, and I admit it. I'm not going to cover that up. I'm ashamed of it, and that won't happen again from me, especially not when a big league page tries to call you out. The ridge of high pressure here over the eastern part of the United States is going to keep us warm and a little bit toasty here in the east, and especially the mid-Atlantic into the 20th and really the rest of this month. And we're looking at the ridge here, which is just going to take over the East Coast through the middle and late July, which is to be expected this time of year. Nothing really abnormal here. I mean, this is just a normal ridge here. A little bit hot here in the East Coast, but then again, it's mid to late July. It's not going to be as hot as some of the models indicate. It's going to be really seasonable probably for this time of year, and that means highs in the upper 80s and low 90s, and maybe mid 90s at some point, and especially in the mid-Atlantic. But other than that, nothing really to write home about. It is summer, and the tropics are now quiet. That's all I have for you right now. I am meteorologist Mike Griffith for East Coast Weather Station, also U.S. Weather Pro. Make sure you like us on Facebook in the description below, and sign up and subscribe to our videos. Thank you so much, and everybody enjoy yourselves.